The spring is underway and several Aggie teams on the Texas A&M campus are building toward successful seasons. Meanwhile, construction continues at Kyle Field, pointing towards its September unveiling. But our facility in the south end zone here at 12th Man Productions is complete. And right now, on the beat, we unveil to you 12th Man Studios. And no better way to begin than by welcoming in our head football coach, Kevin Sumlin. He and the Aggies will get spring ball started this week. He is 28-11 in his 3 seasons at Texas A&M. And Coach, first of all, we appreciate you helping us with the unveiling of our new studio.
Yeah, how about this place? It's beautiful. Great place.
Facilities all around happening at Texas A&M, and you guys will get things started, like I said, on the Coolidge practice fields this week. It's spring ball, and one of the places to begin is at the quarterback position. Now, there's always competition at all spots. It probably headlines with the QBs, but during the spring, pretty much Kyle Allen will be the only one going at it. What does his mindset need to be over those 15 practices?
Well, he needs to pick up where he left off as the MVP of the bowl game. That'd be a great thing to start. But, you know, I think he's had a really, really good offseason. The way we do things from a conditioning standpoint, he's really worked at his quickness, his explosiveness, to try to quicken up his feet, gotten stronger, added a little weight. But you know, the quarterbacks are in charge of the 7-on-7. When coaches can't be there, we're able to meet with him, really establishing his leadership skills. And now we get to coach him and work at the finer things and try to get some chemistry out of our guys. So he's had a tremendous offseason up to now. We start playing football and see if we can get him better and really expand his knowledge of the offense, not just as a guy that's playing on the field, but, you know, get him closer to thinking like we do as coaches.
You've had some really good offensive linemen here, and that still is the case. Some of those good ones we haven't seen yet, and when I say that, I'm thinking about names like Avery Genesee or Akota Martin, maybe Jermaine Illuminor in there. Is spring ball their time?
Yeah, it has been. You know, we were able to redshirt, you know, arguably the 2 top junior college offensive linemen in the country from a year ago in Avery Genesee and Jermaine Illuminor. You know, both guys came in here highly touted. We got through the season without having to play them. This will be a big spring for him. And we're finding out where Avery can fit, you know, is probably going to be a tackle. Jermaine is a bigger body, stronger guy, 330, 323. We try to get him down to about 320. So, but really, really strong, probably more of a guard, inside guy. And then really trying to figure out, all right, what are we doing at center? Mike Matthews is going to miss spring, which will help put pressure on some guys that come to the forefront maybe as a backup center next year before the young freshman gets here from Lufkin. But, you know, figuring out where Jermaine Ifedi is going to fit. You know, can he handle left tackle? If not, you know, we know what he is as a right tackle. He's a great player. The ability to move Genesee around, Coda Martin, being able to redshirt him. So we've got a lot of really, really good pieces, really losing only 2 guys. But with Mike Matthews being out during the spring, I think it's going to help push some other people to the forefront and give more reps to some of the guys who haven't played before.
On the defensive side of the ball, John Chavis is here now. So there's some newness. The coaches a little bit moved around there as you got Coach Hagan and Terry Price both working with the D-line now, and Coach Chavis will have the linebackers. What can we expect this spring with John Chavis in charge?
Well, you know, schematically, I think it'll be a little bit different. You know, we've just looking at our schemes, they seem multiple, but they're fairly simple. I think John has really established himself as a guy that has been able to get the right pieces in place and let guys play fast and play hard and really get back to fundamentals and effort. So, you know, I've been pleased with our development in the off season. You know, we've had a couple position-specific situations in the morning. Meetings with our players will be ready to go today, but the move, which will be really, really interesting this spring. Defensively, we've got some guys that are going to be out for spring, but it's also going to help some of these younger guys, just like offensive, at the center position in the O-line, develop because of the number of reps they're going to get. Taro Alaka's out; he had shoulder surgery. Donovan Wilson is out, but that's going to give the new guys like Justin Evans, who just got here, really get Armani going through the spring and figure out, create some depth in the back end at safety, really push some of these other young linebackers that have gotten to camp, give them the reps that are necessary that I think we'll be able to get a good evaluation and get them the experience they're going to need to be able to help us in the fall.
You guys always dive into special teams pretty well. Josh Lambo exits. Taylor Bertolette's still here. So is Drew Kaiser, your punter. What are your expectations in the spring, specialist-wise?
Well, we got, Drew Kaiser's got pretty high expectations. He's been one of the top punters in the country, and I don't see that falling off. Taylor, this will be we took it off of Taylor when we got here. Everybody was worried, well, what are we going to do? That Josh Lambo's gone. Well, 3 years ago, nobody even knew who Josh Lambo was. So, for him to come that far and get to the combine and really have a chance to play in the NFL is a big deal. I think that, Jeff Banks does a great job, not only schematically, but, really being an ex-kicker, being able to work with these guys and develop them. Taylor's a lot more mature now than he was maybe 3 years ago. He's got a strong leg. He'll continue to develop. We know what we have in him as a kickoff guy. We'll see where he is with the field goals.
All right, we certainly appreciate the time. Spring is underway. All the best to you, and we're looking forward to all the way down to September when it all starts against Arizona State.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit like September out there right now. So, we might be indoors for this first week. We'll go a couple weeks before spring break, but either way, our guys are really, really excited. Coaches, players, a whole lot of new energy on this team right now, and we're ready to get started in practice.
We certainly appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
Kevin Sumlin right here on the beat to get us started.
The Beat is presented by AT&T, building you a better network.
We welcome you back to this edition of The Beat, coming to you from 12th Man Studios in the south end zone of Kyle Field. Several teams in action this weekend. Both of the Diamond squads were very successful, but we begin this report with men's basketball. March has arrived, and they continue to make a postseason push. Saturday night, they took on Auburn.
The Aggies had just 3 regular season contests left when they entered the weekend. All of them important when you have hopes of punching that ticket into the big bracket. A&M started fast against the Tigers and never looked back. The Aggies win 80-55. It was their 20th victory this season.
Florida Gate is next. Okay, you guys who were with us last year, remember we got embarrassed down there. Okay, we need to go there locked in and ready to get it done. All right. Great week this week. Great week this week. Sir, together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together.
Despite chilly weather in College Station, the nationally ranked baseball team remained hot. They swept Dartmouth over the weekend. Friday, they needed heroics. Bottom 8, down 3-0. Hunter Melton, a 2-run shot, bringing the Aggies within a run. Well, Melton has just put a charge into a ball deep into left field, and that's got the scoreboard written all over it. Texas A&M back in the game with one swing of the bat. Moments later, Logan Taylor, a 2-run homer of his own. All of a sudden, it's 4-3 Ags, and they'd hang on to win it by that final. A&M completed the sweep with much easier victories on Saturday and Sunday. They came out of the Dartmouth series with a 12-0 record. Softball, they went undefeated in the Texas A&M Invitational at home this weekend. They beat Boston University twice and Illinois State twice. They really didn't have any trouble in any of the contests. They outscored their foes in the 4 games by a total of 38-5. The Aggies are 17-4 overall, and they start SEC play this weekend in College Station. It's a 3-game set against the nationally ranked team that was in the Women's College World Series a year ago. A&M gets it started by taking on the Kentucky Wildcats Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This segment of The Beat is brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer when you're up for whatever.
Texas A&M baseball off to a terrific start in 2015. D1Baseball.com has this squad ranked as high as 14th in the country, and we have their head coach, Rob Childress, with us right now. And first and foremost, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time and helping us unveil our new studios here at 12th Man Productions.
Well, it's great to be here. What a beautiful place this is.
And then when we talk about your team, there's so many places we can start. But let's begin with the offense, because there's a new baseball in play, and that's received a lot of talk. But your team, coming out of play last week, leads the SEC in home runs, and you truly do have power up and down the lineup.
Well, we feel like we've got a very long lineup, a lot of older guys with a lot of college at-bats under their belt. And as you go through the fall and into January, you're not real sure. You either think you're really good on the mound or you're really offensive. And if you're really offensive, you kind of question your pitching. If you're not swinging the bat and scoring a lot of runs, you think you're pretty good on the mound. And, you know, we really believe that the baseball is going to impact us from an offensive standpoint, and that's held true as we've gotten into the season.
One guy, he doesn't have a home run coming out of play last week, is Mitchell now, but a lot of extra base hits. Can't question the start that he's gotten off to. And is this a story of just preparation before the year carrying you in to a big beginning?
Well, he's gotten off to a great start and been a big part of our success so far. But for Mitch, it started last summer. He went to Alaska, worked really hard to get his body in the best shape during his career here at Texas A&M, and it's paying dividends for him, not just offensively, but receiving and blocking and catching as well. He's just been a true leader for us thus far this year.
And Nick Banks, can you speak to the dynamicness of him? He was one of just 2 players that was named All-SEC last year as a freshman, him and Logan Shore of Florida, just those 2, and he's really started it pretty well in 2015.
And Nick plays with an awful lot of confidence, and he had a great freshman year, had a good summer with the USA team, and has gotten off to a good start. He's just a great package of strength and speed, and when the bell rings, he loves to play, loves to compete, and, you know, it's an honor to have him on our team.
Well, if you move it over to pitching, you've got good starters, but it seems the relievers have taken over a bit as the story early this year.
Well, it's a good feeling as a starter when the game's in the balance. And we haven't had an awful lot of those early this year, but there have been a few times where it's been tight. You know, we feel like AJ and Grayson and Matt Kent have given us great starts, but the guys that we've gone to in the bullpen have been better than advertised. Kyle Simons is a junior college transfer that's, you know, I think thrown 8 scoreless innings for us. And then a couple of veterans, Ty Sloatman and Andrew Vinson, have done a great job setting up 2 sophomores, and Mark Ecker and Ryan Hendricks. Those guys have been fabulous finishing games for us thus far.
What does that do in particular for a starter because of the fact that maybe AJ or Grayson or Matt Kent, those guys that throw on weekends, maybe they know I don't have to go all the way to the 8th or 9th. At some point in time, I can turn it over to some really good arms.
Well, there's nothing more demoralizing than losing a game late for a team. And, you know, you get into the middle of the fight and you get to the 6th or 7th inning to know that if you've got a lead, you've got a great chance to win it because of your bullpen. It's just it exudes confidence up and down the dugout and within the team as you go forward.
A much anticipated weekend coming up. You'll head down to Houston, Minute Maid Park. It's the Astros College Classic. Quality opponents, and it starts with one that you were in their program for quite some time before coming to Texas A&M. Friday afternoon, you're up against the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Well, it's going to be a great challenge. Nebraska's off to a really good start, and obviously Coach Bolt was there the last 3 years, so there's going to be a certain amount of familiarity there. And we'll run A.J. Menor out there, and they're very left-handed offense and feel like A.J. matches up really well with them. It's going to be a great opportunity for our guys to play in a major league facility. And, when you start talking about, I think 6 teams are there, they're not going to be an awful lot of those guys that have the opportunity to play in major league stadiums going forward. So it's very nice of the Houston Astros to allow this tournament year in, year out.
Coach, as always, we appreciate the time. Great start and best of luck down in Houston.
Thanks, Will.
That's Rob Childress right here on the beat. Also marked down March 13th through 15th. That's when the Aggies open Southeastern Conference play at Bluebell Park against the Auburn Tigers. This week, Gary Blair and the Aggie women's basketball team heads to Little Rock for the SEC tournament. Coach Blair has a leader that will take them there. She actually hails from Baltimore, Maryland, and went the junior college route before arriving at Texas A&M. She's this week's subject of The Aggies Are We. Here's more on senior Achiri Ade.
From life on the East Coast to a temporary home in West Texas, Achiri Ade left a standout high school career on Chesapeake Bay and continued her hoops endeavors on the Permian Basin at Midland College. While she was a senior in high school, Texas A&M did pop up on her radar. Everyone took notice of the Aggies during their national championship season.
Well, not to the national championship year. I was a senior in high school when I first heard about it. That's when I knew about it. But before then, no, I didn't know anything about it.
She's been at the forefront ever since arriving at A&M, playing well in each of her junior and senior years. This season, she easily leads the Aggies in rebounding. One specific offensive board in January has been of particular importance to the A&M season.
It's a tie game. 8 to play in the game. Jones has got it up top, guarded way out by Bowman. Now puts up a shot, no good. Fight for the rebound. Ade, a layup, good. Achiri Ade gets it to go. No seconds left. Texas A&M celebrating on the Arkansas floor with a 2-point win over Arkansas.
I knew that somebody was going to shoot the ball. I knew that Jordan was going to shoot the ball. She came off that screen, so my job was to just find the body and just box out. So, and I did that, and it came long, and I was just able to get it and go back up with it. And actually, like the time wasn't even in my head. Like, at that time, like you don't even think like you got point-something seconds. It's just you get it and go, and it just happened so quick.
Now it's time for the postseason. The Aggies are off to Little Rock, then it's on to the NCAA tournament. She'll have to be more than just the team's leading rebounder.
We can go as far as we want to. It's really up to us and how we play, how we practice, every day. We have potential to make it to the Final Four. We can do it. I believe in us.
We're out of time, but we certainly thank you for joining us on this edition of The Beat, the first one ever from 12th Man Studios in the south end zone of Kyle Field. We'll see you next week. So long, everybody.